Okay, a little update. It's Sunday, June 6th, I think. So we're we're on the Hudson. That's our boat, and that's sail away. And that's south towards the city. And somewhere between Liberty Island and Midtown, our alternator went out. It was squealing, making some funny noises. I just thought it was a belt, and the alternator actually died. Lost voltage, pulled over about Midtown somewhere on the side, dropped the hook, tightened the belt. Didn't know the alternator was bad, so I tightened the belt. Still nothing. Came up, charged the batteries using the, I think I mentioned this in another video, charged the batteries using our generator. So long story short, yesterday morning I replaced the alternator, drove to New Jersey near Hoboken with a car that we borrowed. I got the alternator put in, put the old belt on, and started motoring north. That was all around the Tappan Zee Bridge area. We were at the Nyack Boat Club. Everything was fine. Looked at our voltage and it still wasn't up to where it should be. Driving up top, I decided to go down below to check the voltage, and the alarm was going off. Hot water temperature alarm. It was spiked at 250 degrees. Shut the engines off, dropped the hook right over there somewhere. There was coolant everywhere, spraying everywhere, but I couldn't tell where it was coming from. Finally got to the front of the engine. The alternator belt was broken, so it was not turning the pump. Now the freshwater pump was still running. The raw water pump, that pumps water from the raw water through the engine out the exhaust. But the pump that runs the coolant wasn't running, so the engine overheated, shut it down. Finally got a new belt on, took a while. Put everything back together, and so far so good. And just around that point over there, we stopped for fuel, if anybody's interested. We got 235 gallons of fuel. We went 83.7 hours. And if you do the math, that's 2.7 gallons per hour. We average around maybe 6 knots, so that's 3 miles to the gallon, I guess you'd call that. It's not as good as our last tank, but we were in the ocean in New Jersey. We were running faster, and we ran all the way up the Hudson with a 2-knot current against us, so we used a lot more fuel. But still, 2.7 gallons per hour. That's not too bad. So that's kind of the nerdy side of it. Still a lot of trash. You know, there's less trash the further north we go. But just, people leave their trash. This is where we came in on the dinghy. I picked up a couple plastic bottles and a beer can, and I took it over there to where the garbage is, and there's trash just laying all over the place. Still don't get that, but it's not as bad as downtown New York and Jersey. When we got here last night and anchored, I was really hot, so I was going to jump in the water, but there was just a scum of stuff floating across, and it just kind of looked dirty. So I'm thinking as we get upstate more, it should clean up. Anyway, Stella the Wonder Dog is still with us. Stella, say hello. Say here, over here. Say hi. No. All right. That's a quick update. Wow, that wasn't so quick, but that's an update.